I'd like to see, this team in the playoffs. Anything's possible when you got guys like Trey and DeJounte. Certainly, I like Sadiq Bey. But there still are some fundamental issues, and you kind of saw it last night. And how much can you do? And I guess the good news is you do get that sort of 21-game head start for your new coach and brain trust to figure out if you can't make a run with these guys, how to fix it.
Well, he's clearly taking an inventory on what he has and what he doesn't have. And I wonder how much input he will have with the front office. With Kyle Korver and Landry, will he have a big voice? I would think he would. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him in here.
Right, and not to mention the commitment of the $40 million. Yep. The $8 million salary, which we talked about with Tony Ressler, tried to talk about a few weeks ago. But, yeah, this is one that you wonder all those rumors about John Collins. And you said it earlier, we were doing the headlines, John getting less minutes, having less impact on the game. Which I
think one of the games that Quinn Snyder's coached in, John Collins has had more than 30 minutes.
And then if you go and you extrapolate that down to where we probably see John off the roster or try to move John, the irony is you guys couldn't move him when Schlenk was here. Right. And now you held on to him to the point where you're going to have a harder time maybe moving. That
value's been diminished. The fact that they couldn't get any takers earlier, that also drives down what you're going to get in return. But I wonder if this doesn't necessarily mean, though, what if John Collins starts getting a lot of minutes? You don't know what exactly Quinn Snyder's thinking because he's with them every day.
Right.
I mean, John Collins could start getting more and more minutes. Who knows?
It does seem, though, Capella, though, is more of the focal point. Now, look, the problem is Capella, is like put back, no good, put back, no good.
But he's your best rebounder. Rebounding has gone up.
And that's something, like, you don't have a Rudy Gobert coming through that door anytime soon.
You don't.
You did see him last night, but that was a big part of Quinn Snyder's success in Utah. Yeah, last night, if you didn't see it, literally from the first play, Trey owned it, said, I can't start a game like that. He coughed it up, a turnover. But it was the return of Anthony Edwards. Ant-Man has never won here in Atlanta, and he put on a show. 32.
Let's hear Trey's soundbite, the one where we had to bleep it. It's kind of funny.
To start the game out, I was on some bullshit and turned the ball over. My fault. And it started the game out wrong, and I think that just set the tone for that, and I got to be better to start the game and not have that to be the first play of the game.
No argument here.
No argument
he owned it, man. Yeah, I would say DeJounte Murray, probably his second, or maybe, if not the second, his worst night as a Hawk. He just looked off. Looked like he had the flu last night. I mean, he just
looked on his face.
He just looked miserable.
It looked like he was just covered in ants. It looked like he felt like, oh, the ants. I'm covered in ants.
Covered in ants. So I love you, man. The guy that did his job, if there was one, other than Trey, who again finished with 41 points last night, was Capella with a 10 even double-double. Yep. John Collins, just to your point, 6 points, 27 minutes. He now, I got to be honest, with the inconsistency with the three, he only took 2 3-point shots last night. We used to joke around about Josh Smith and the shock collar. Anytime that Josh would drift out from outside of more than 10 feet,
Here in the arena, in unison, no! When he went to shoot it, it was so
Am
funny.
I the only one who feels that way with John Collins, even if it's a wide open look? No! Like Sam Kinison, ow! So the Hawks, they're back to a game under 500. They do have the middle of the road, I believe, when we did the numbers yesterday. Look at the numbers. 16th most difficult, so not the most difficult schedule remaining.
Yeah, but when you're 500, they're all difficult
You're
games.
a 500 team.
Yeah, you're a 500 team.
And Minnesota was a 500 team coming in last night, but they had obviously more athleticism, and as we said, Ant-Man was just unbelievable. So we'll see where it goes. Okongwu also, I should mention, Okongwu did have a good night last night. He was doing good work, 16 points.